What's going on, guys? Patch here. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Today we're going to be looking at some insane technical analysis that I don't see anybody else talking about. Is this the breakout that we have been expecting for Bitcoin to take us back to that $12,100 mark? Or is Bitcoin going to come back down, test 10,000 and potentially even go lower to that CME futures gap that we've been talking about for so long? So make sure you guys stay all the way until the end of the video so you can get all of the answers to those questions. But before we dive into that, let's go into some trades and how exactly I've been playing this market recently. I got into a trade right here. This green candle basically was the entrance of a short position. The first target was over here at 10,200-ish or 10,290, 10,300-ish. Then the next one was at 10,150. Now we haven't hit this target yet, but it's still set and ready for us to jump in. Now I want to give you guys an idea of why exactly we got into this trade so you can take this and use this on your own technical analysis and use this for your own future trades as well. One thing we noticed, obviously we broke above the EMA ribbon on the 1 hour time frame, but we started to have these patterns, and this is just very common, right? When we see something like this, Bitcoin tests the support, it bounces up, it retests the support, then it bounces up. So during this point, we already had in our minds the potential of it coming back down to bounce off of the EMA ribbon. Now you've heard me say before that usually when we're above the EMA ribbon, we like to trade longs, right? You enter here and you catch this long, you enter here and you catch this long. The reason we didn't do that ties in really with the experience that we have in this market previously. It's the fact that we have we've seen these things happen over and over again, and with time, this is the part that I think you get the most from trading with experience, is you start to develop a feeling of when things are going to happen and how things are going to happen. For an example, when Bitcoin had that previous breakdown over here, right, you see the volume come in. We had obviously this declining volume, very low volume, and then once Bitcoin started breaking to the downside, we had this huge surge of volume come in. Well, if you look at this breakout over here, we start to notice that the volume isn't really there to back it up, right? So that was our first indicator of we could be catching longs here. However, at this moment in time, with no volume coming in, we sort of expected Bitcoin to potentially be a little weak to go long, and we wanted to enter a short. So entering here, first take profit was in the EMA ribbon for it to retest. It had that little bit of a bounce. Trade is still open. It's in pure profit right now. Hopefully we'll be able to hit this second target relatively soon. So that was a very easy trade, very straightforward. You guys can use for yourselves as well. But one other one I want to talk about is an altcoin trade. This is from Algorand Bitcoin pairing. Now we got in right here. And yeah, just to be clear, we can see exactly what happened after. It hit all of our targets after a few days. It was great, but on the 1 hour, you might not be able to tell exactly why we entered this position, right? At this moment, you see that it's breaking above and breaking down and above the EMA ribbon multiple times. No clear direction in sight. We obviously were below at one point. We had that flip come in where we started to move above. So in our mind, we were hoping obviously that we were going to stay above that on the 1 hour, and it would lead us to higher price targets. You see that it did break below for a little bit after that, so it wasn't exactly according to plan. But if I zoom out to the daily, you guys are going to see a completely different picture. Look at what happened here. It started to have that break below. Price was so far down to the EMA ribbon that we expected a retest of the EMA ribbon, and well, yeah, exactly what happened. Clearly acting as resistance over here right now. 2 wicks to the upside. Hasn't broken above. Currently just a test and potentially going to see a drop lower. But for us, the trade is over. We entered here and we caught this big move. Super straightforward. For those of you guys who, again, are using this in your own trades, and go ahead and put it on your Bybit account, Binance account, whatever it is that you're using, hopefully this does help you guys out. And if you want to make sure you catch more opportunities, you feel like you're missing out, you want to take advantage of everything this market has to offer, well, check out the first link down below in the description for the cryptocurrency trade alert group. I post every single one of the trades that myself and my expert team are entering in real time in this group, so that if you're a complete beginner, if you don't know how to do technical analysis, or you simply don't have time to do technical analysis, you can copy our exact trades. It takes 2 to 3 minutes to set up. After that, profits are taken automatically for you. So it becomes super passive. You'll get access to every single one of our altcoin trades, every single one of our leverage trades, and most importantly, you get all of this. Also, you get access to the #1 community in the crypto space. Don't let me forget that. But most importantly, for 14 days after you sign up, you can test out everything completely risk-free. And if for some reason it doesn't work for you, no questions asked. Doesn't matter what the issue is. If you don't like it, doesn't matter. You can simply cancel and you'll avoid getting charged. We're not going to hide anything from you for those 14 days, so you'll get access to every single one of our trades for free for 2 weeks. Now, let's go into some Bitcoin technical analysis because there's still a lot more to cover as to what we expect to happen in the future. Hopefully you guys enjoyed those trade breakdowns. A lot of you guys really do, so let me know down below in the comments if that's something that's been helping you guys out with your own technical analysis as well. But we talked about the volume. We talked about how there wasn't really volume to come in to have this breakout. That's why the breakout retested here once. It looked like it was going to move above, but then it's just coming back down. It retested over here again what was previously resistance. We've seen multiple times at this level. It just keeps retesting its support. It doesn't look like it has that volume in it right now in order to continue above, especially not to get to that $12,100 mark right now. Now that can change at any moment, but as of right now, just based off the information we're given, doesn't look like we really have that in us quite yet, which leads us to the scenario which I think is the most likely. Currently, $10,000 is still holding very, very strong as support. Now, if we have a test and we have a bounce off of this, I saw DaVinci's J15 mention this, and I agree with him 100%. We're not gonna keep bouncing off of this many more times. So if we do have a bounce and it starts to move up, that could be the last times or one of the last times we see $10,000 actually, hit before the price is so high that we just don't really look at $10,000, right? That's one thing that we can expect to happen. Honestly, if that does keep bouncing above, however, if it breaks below, we obviously have that $9,660 CME futures gap to fill, which a lot of people have been talking about, and that kind of worries me. The fact that we have so many people talking about makes me uneasy into thinking that something could go a little bit off to what everybody's thinking, because that's usually what happens. Usually the scenario that plays out is the least likely scenario. So if everybody expects the CME futures gap to fill, let's see how that's going to happen. Let's see how it's going to play out. My plan still, if it gets to that level, is to enter a long position. But in the meantime, we're obviously going to be playing a lot of smaller moves like I showed you guys with catching a trade up here for a short and securing profits on the way down. And you guys have seen every video, I have a different trade that I update you guys on. We're even capitalizing on everything for months and months and months and years in this market as well. So 1 hour we talked about currently with this tight EMA ribbon. I want to see, honestly, it could be acting as both support or resistance at this level. I want to see a little if we're going to be breaking above here, potentially coming down to retest the support again. Like I said, Bitcoin's looking a little weak, so as of right now, I do sort of expect it to head a little bit further down. But there is good news, which I want to share with you guys, what nobody is looking at the moment. 4 hour, very simple. We actually came up over here. Now, I've been saying this for a long time as well. This is the strong resistance that we're going to have until if we go anywhere up to here, it's still considered a bearish trend on the 4 hour time frame. So there's no reason to be overly bullish just yet. And that's exactly what we saw happen. It came over here, it rejected down below. So as of right now, the 4 hour time frame, no real reason to be overly bullish into thinking, yes, here we are. Now that was the other thing we were watching out for, and I mentioned this when I talked about this pattern that we have drawn over here, is the fact that quite simply, the EMA ribbon is gonna act as strong resistance up here. We could see that test of it before coming back down, and that's sort of exactly, or that's not sort of, that is exactly what we're seeing happen right now. But the daily time frame, this is the one where a lot of people are not looking at what's going on because we're having the flip come in of the EMA ribbon into bearish after being bullish for who knows how long. I mean, a very, very long time. Last time we flipped bullish was over here on the 27th of April or on the 28th, 29th of April, 2020 with the gap to the price right now, anywhere between Bitcoin, anywhere here all the way up to around this level is still fair game for Bitcoin to continue to drop and be in a bearish trend on the daily time frame, which could lead us down again. This is what scenario I'm looking at, potentially leading us down into filling that CME futures gap at $9,660 just by playing below the EMA ribbon on the daily time frame. So the 4 hour time frame, obviously it's already below. It rejected off of it once. The daily time frame, we can honestly go anywhere up to like 10,600 without having any, without being in a bullish trend. So anywhere, from here, a candle up here would not be anything crazy, and we could really just reverse down from there. So make sure you're looking at all the time frames. Nobody's really talking about the daily time frame right here, especially not at the resistance of the EMA ribbon on the daily time frame, the break below, the current flip that's going on. Not a lot of people are talking about it, and it's one that I've been eyeing for a long time, just like I was eyeing the 4 hour potential breakout of that pattern, but with the resistance right there that I showed you guys, that's another one that not a lot of people were looking at. And so once we saw that little bit of a breakout look like it was coming in, even though there was no volume, a lot of people got overly bullish into thinking, yes, this is it, back to 12,100 we go. And although that scenario would have been nice, we needed the volume in order to break above the EMA ribbon on that time frame. So didn't happen. As of right now, like I said, still looking a little bit weak. Could change at any moment, but I do want to see what Bitcoin does next. And I think probability-wise, chance of testing $10,000 first, maybe just trade sideways over here like this until the EMA ribbon does finally catch up and act as a resistance again. But we're going to see exactly how this plays out in the next few days, because the daily time frame obviously is a little slower, so it takes us a little longer to find out exactly how things are going to play out. In the meantime, 1 hour time frame, 4 hour time frame are going to provide you a ton of opportunities, and the most important one right now is to see if we are going to break below the EMA ribbon again on the daily time frame to have a flip bearish, or if we are just going to continue on the upward trajectory. That's going to be where the most opportunities are for you to catch trades in the short term. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the analysis. We obviously have a little bit more to cover with the price. Bitcoin hasn't moved much, so altcoins haven't moved too much, although it is looking like an overall red day in the market, which is not too surprising given the uncertainty in Bitcoin right now. And we are, like I said, we just came off a huge dump. Altcoins are still seem like they're having a little bit of a lagging effect, and altcoins, although having a pretty good week for some of them, are down in the last in the last 24 hours. You see the change 24 hours, a lot of them are still down quite a lot. But I want to end the video off. Again, I talk about these all the time, the scams that are in the market. There's a ton of them. A lot of people still fall for them. Otherwise, these guys wouldn't be here. And YouTube's not doing much. YouTube before, if I'm watching my favorite YouTuber in the crypto space, I get bombarded with ads talking about, send me 0.1 Bitcoin, I'll send you 10 Bitcoin back. And YouTube's doing nothing about this, right? They have a video of Vitalik at a conference. They pretend like he's talking live, and that if you send him money, he's gonna send you the 10 times, 100 times that money back. Not the case. I know a lot of you guys probably aren't gonna fall for that. I know at this point, if you've been watching crypto YouTube for a while, you know this. You know how this shit works. It's hopefully you guys don't fall for this. But I do want to keep reminding over and over again, because I get new people in the channel all the time. If those of you who are new, you're the target that these guys are going after. So please, please, please don't send these guys money. Nobody's going to just take your money and send you back 100 times that for free. Doesn't happen. This is the real world. That just doesn't happen in the real world. That's not how it works. So hopefully you guys don't fall for that. But I do want to highlight it again, just to make sure, just to do my part, make sure I am comfortable knowing that I said it as many times as I could and helped as many of you guys out as possible. But guys, that's gonna be it for this video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you did, don't forget, leave a thumbs up, leave a comment down below letting me know what you guys think and what you guys want to see more of in the future. But most importantly, make sure you're subscribed, make sure you hit the notification bell so you can get updated every time we upload a new video, which is the main purpose, is to help put you guys in the best position to maximize the opportunities that this market has to offer. So if you want to make more money in this market, you want to know what Bitcoin's going to be doing, you want to get the analysis and everything that goes along with that to put yourself in the best position, then make sure you're subscribed, hit that notification bell, and tune in Monday, Wednesday, Friday, every time we upload YouTube videos. So guys, thank you so much for watching. See you guys on Monday for another video.